come here often?
Only at convention time.
I see. Well, thanks. Excuse me.
Hey, Pete, look at this, huh? Yeah? How about that? What's going on? Oh, shucks, Pete. Let's go have a drink.
Believe it or not, these guys are important businessmen. All year long, they make big decisions involving millions of dollars. They're proper, crisp, dignified, and efficient. Then they go on a convention. And wow, well, they really live it up and let their hair down. That is if they have any hair.
Oh, just adorable bald-headed men. They're so virile.
See what I mean? Oh, no, thanks. I'm not a candy maker.
I know. Let me take one anyway, just for me.
Why?
Because you're the famous Simon Templar.
Sure, baby. You can take my picture. Go ahead.
Sir, here's your ticket. Oh, no, sir. Really, please. No, I've got to get back to work now. Sir, please. You out of your mind, Alec? Take your hands off me.
Norm, I got to stop these old guys mauling you around.
Stupid fool.
Well, we may as well turn in, Kingham. We have a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
Well, the way most of these delegates behave, I think these conventions are a waste of time.
Well, I look at it the other way around. The more fools they make of each other and themselves, the better opportunities for the smart ones.
Well, I hadn't been thinking about it that way.
You hadn't been thinking, period. I brought you out here to the San Francisco office because I expect great things of you. Now, this convention is your big chance.
Well, you know, when it comes to selling, I deliver.
I expect you to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Is Mrs. Fennick with you?
No, she's home in New York. She hates conventions. She also thinks they're a waste of time.
I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, never mind. Leanne hates anything to do with the candy industry, except the profits.
I'm sorry.
Well, so am I. But I like the profits, too, so we have that much in common.
Yes, well, I guess I better shove off. My apartment is right in the other end of town.
See you in the office in the morning.
Oh, by the way, I won't be in until noon. I have customers to see.
Uh-huh. Get a good night's rest.
You too, Mr. Fennick. Good night.
Good night. 607, please.
Here you are, Mr. Fennick. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. And no telephone calls.
No call, 607. Right.
Thank you.
Fennick just went up. Room 607. You know what to do.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes, will you?
Yeah, I'll meet you outside the elevators on the 6th floor.
Sure.
What is it?
Telegram, sir.
Oh, put it under the door, please.
Sorry, sir. You have to sign for it.
All right.
What do you want, Alec?
You?
You got a funny way of showing it.
I'm sorry, Norm. I blew my top. I couldn't help it. Those drunken slobs, they keep crowding you. The way they look at you, it's...
I don't even see them.
But I do. It kills me. You're mine. You know how I feel about you.
I gotta get back to work. You too.
Norma, I want you to quit this job.
Oh, sure. And go back to slinging hash in a diner for $40 a week?
No, we wouldn't have to. We could get married. I know I'm not loaded. We could make out.
I can see us making out. In some little dump the size of this cracker box. We'd both blow our tops.
Yeah, but Norma, if we really tried...
Look, Alec, let's talk about this later, okay?
What are you wearing? Should I say, what aren't you wearing? Where were you just now?
It's none of your business. You don't own me.
You've been doing some more dirty work for Vern Balton, haven't you?
Oh.
All right, Norma. I'll find out.
Alec, you stay away from him.
You tell him to stay away from me. Because if Vern Balton comes near me, I'll murder him!
Hate to break up this sparkling conversation, but my name's Simon Templar.
I'm Otis Q. Finnick.
Well, Otis, what are you, some sort of burglar?
No,
A peeping Tom?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, no, you're none of those things. You're a candy cooker.
The Finnick Candy Company. You must have heard of them.
I'm afraid it's an unforgivable lapse, but I haven't. Now, what were you doing on the fire escape? Trying to steal someone's secret formula for peppermints?
No, I've been framed.
Oh, why didn't you sit down?
Thank you.
Now, tell me about it.
Well, I was just getting ready for bed when there was a tap at the door. Oh, Mr. Templar, I could use a drink.
Sure. Room service? No, something from the bar, please.
Bar? Yeah. Yeah. Good, I got you. Room 507. Right. As soon as the waiter comes in.
Fine, thanks very much. Mr. Fennick, you were saying you were getting ready for bed and there was a knock at the door.
Well, I asked who it was, and they said it was a telegram.
So you opened the door?
Yes. And there was a man there and a girl. And the girl took off her coat and threw it on the floor. Then she threw her arms around me and the man took a picture.
Don't tell me, let me guess. You were in your pajamas.
Well, how do you know?
That sort of figures. Didn't you try to fight them off?
Well, yes, I tried to wreck the camera, but the man hit me and he knocked me unconscious. And of course, when I came to, they'd gone. So I got dressed and here I am.
Mr. Fennick, just one more question. Why the fire escape?
Well, I wanted to go downstairs to see if I could find the girl. I'd seen her earlier tonight, and she's a photographer in the rowdy room.
Oh, you mean the cute chick with the legs?
Yes.
You still didn't answer the question. Why the fire escape? You were allergic to elevators?
No. I thought her accomplice might be in the lobby, and I didn't want him to see me talking to her.
Oh, he'd have seen you if you had gone into the rowdy room.
No, I wasn't going to do that. I planned to wait outside the hotel and talk to her when she came out.
Mr. Fennick, you don't suppose this could be one of those corny convention jokes, do you?
Mr. Templar, the man assaulted me. He knocked me unconscious. That isn't a joke. It's blackmail. All my wife could need.
Oh, so there is a Mrs. Fennick, is there?
Unfortunately.
She in San Francisco?
No, she's back home in New York.
Enjoying the theater, the ballet, and the mink, no doubt.
And she likes that, too. And she thinks that conventions are just an excuse for men to cut loose and... Well, you know.
Get into the sort of mischief you were photographed in.
Exactly.
So if you tried to explain the photograph the way you did to me, you would get a pretty hilarious reception.
She wouldn't believe a word of it.
Mr. Fennick, I'm beginning to understand your problem. Thanks. Don't tell me that's the guy who took the photograph.
I know, but it has something to do with the girl. They had a row in the bar early in the evening.
Just out of curiosity, what were you planning to do if you had found her?
Well, I figured that someone must have paid her to pose for the photograph, and so I was going to offer her twice as much to get it back.
You know, there's nothing wrong with your analysis, except it falls short. Suppose this chick hadn't gone for the bid, which could happen for a whole flock of reasons. You'd have only shown the ungodly exactly how scared you are, and bang would have gone your chance of bluffing them out of a showdown.
Mr. Templar, I've imposed on you too much already. This isn't your problem.
Blackmail is. Especially the dirty, vicious type like this. Now, you wait here till I get back.
Why?
Mr. Fennick, you've already been socked in the jaw. You're an amateur in a professional situation. You try to get tough, you're liable to get hurt a lot worse. Now, you be a good fellow and stay here till I get back, okay?
If you say so.
I do. Oh, and I shall lock you in. Do you mind?
I guess not. What are you going to do?
Mr. Fennick, I'm mad enough to do anything. Where's the girl that takes the pictures?
Norma? She ain't here.
I'm glad to hear that. I was beginning to think she'd become invisible.
Oh, she went home. She had a headache or something.
You know where I can get in touch with her?
She'll be back tomorrow night.
Well, I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon. It is about some pictures.
Why'd you say so?
I tried to. Well, this says Vern Bolton.
Yeah, Bolton's got the concession. Norma works for him.
Norma what? What's her other name?
Look, you just go down and ask him for the pictures Norma took.
All right, I will.
You want a drink?
Yeah, but not here. Hi.
Did you kill that old bottle already, mister?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for Norma.
Why? What do you want?
I want to see her about some pictures that were taken this evening.
You got anything to do with Vern Belton?
Why? Did he take some pictures, too?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
I simply can't let you bother with my problems. I just have to pay up and make the best of it. Please forget the whole thing. Otis Q. Fennick, please.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Fennick's line has a do not disturb sign on it.
What's his room number?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't give you that information. He might be very annoyed if you disturbed him by knocking on his door.
Now, what makes you think I'd do that?
I'm quite sure you wouldn't, sir. So you won't need his room number, will you? Good night, sir.
Invite me to your funeral.
Who is it?
It's me, Vern. Leanne Finnick.
I'd about given you up.
My plane was 3 hours late leaving New York. Did you get the picture?
I said I would, didn't I?
Oh, it's terrific, Vern. Exactly what I wanted.
You satisfied?
Completely.
Then pay me my $1,000.
You wouldn't trust your own mother, would you?
I don't know. I never had one.
Same old Vern.
Same old Leanne.
Oh, no, Vern. I've come up in the world.
Have you? You really think the fancy clothes make you any less of a tramp than when you took pictures for me?
Where's the negative?
In a good, safe place.
It's mine. I want it.
Sure, Leanne. You can have it.
Look, it's late and I'm tired. Give it to me now.
Oh, no. Not now. Unless you've got another 10 grand in the purse. See, I figure that picture, with the New York divorce laws and Otis's bankroll, is worth about $500,000 to you. Unless,
Unless what?
unless I turned up during the proceedings with a negative. See, I could prove collusion and fraud and get the case tossed out of court. Be careful, Leanne, or the price will go up. Now, I'm not going to be unreasonable, but if you take Otis for a wad, I want a share of it.
Aren't you ever afraid, Vern?
Of what?
Afraid that someday somebody's going to put a bullet through whatever you have for a heart.
Good night, Leanne.
Oh, you're dirty. You're dirty all through.
Well, when you're in a dirty business, you mix with dirty people.
Leanne.
Fred, darling.
I can't believe it.
I'm glad to see me.
Yeah, sure, of course I am, but I thought you were in New York.
That's what Otis thinks.
But you mean he doesn't know?
No, he isn't going to either. I'm staying with an old girlfriend.
Why? What happened? What gives?
This.
Otis? With a girl like that?
Isn't it marvelous?
Where'd you get it?
I arranged it.
You mean you framed him?
Yes, if you want to put it that way.
Well, how would you like to put it?
Oh, come on, Brent. Don't you start giving me trouble. You want me to get a divorce, don't you?
Yeah, but not like this. So cheap.
Oh, Brent, don't be so holier than thou. I've been begging Otis for a divorce for 3 years. You know what he's like. I'm at the end of my rope.
Yeah, but this is collusion. It's so... I don't like it.
Well, what would you suggest?
You could go to Reno.
Yeah, sure, and end up with a lousy 100 a week alimony.
But you don't need alimony. I make $20,000 a year with commission.
That's likely to change.
Why?
Sure, you don't expect to go on working for Otis after we're married.
Of course I don't expect to be working for Otis. The point is I'm a salesman and a good one, whether I'm working for Otis or any other company. You don't need a big settlement.
That's not the point.
What is the point?
I've put up with Otis Finnick for 10 years. At least I deserve something. And with that picture in a New York divorce court, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make him pay through the nose.
Who took that picture?
A man I used to work for. His name is Vern Bolton.
Can he be trusted?
No. That's why I woke you. I had to talk to you about it.
Why, what's wrong?
He's holding out the negative. He wants $10,000 for it.
You wants what?
Look, Brent, I'll probably get $500,000 settlement
Oh,
from
you're
Otis when
crazy.
Well, what's the alternative? Shall I go back and live happily ever after with Otis? Is that what you want?
You know it isn't.
Sure, it's a little messy, but there's no other way.
So what if you do get the negative for $10,000? What makes you think this guy won't keep coming back for more? He can make 20 prints of that picture and bleed you forever.
Brent, do you really love me?
You know I do.
Then don't fight me. Help me.
What do you want?
To talk?
I'm going home.
Not yet. Bolton, was Norma in one of your dirty deals tonight?
She tell you that?
No. She expects me to believe she goes around with a coat on over her slip because of the weather.
So what are you, her keeper or something?
Bolton, I'm crazy about her, see? And I'm asking you, like a gentleman, leave her alone.
You got me wrong, Allie.
No, Bolton, I got you taped right down the line. You're a blackmailing creep.
Nobody holds a gun to Norma's head, you know. She's in this for the dough.
Well, she's not in it anymore, ever. Do you get that?
It's kind of up to her, isn't it?
Bolton, I'm warning you. Are you going to leave her alone?
It's a free country. You sucker, you. Norma's as cheap as they come. her enough dough, she'd do anything.
Belton, I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Mr. Templar,
Mr. Fennick?
I have an apology to make.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary. An explanation there might be in order.
Well, both. I was terribly upset last night, and even your kind offer of help didn't quite put my mind at rest. I meant to stay in your room till you came back, but well, I got so nervous.
Just as a matter of curiosity, how did you get out? Through the keyhole or under the door?
No, I telephoned down to the desk and said I'd been locked in your room. I said it was a convention joke.
And that I had locked you in?
Mr. Templar, I know I've handled this very badly. Last night I thought the only way to deal with these people was to pay them off.
Mr. Fennick, you never get rid of blackmailers with money.
I know. So if you're still willing to help me, I'd be very, very grateful. And I'd cooperate in every possible way, and I'd be very happy to pay you for your services.
Well, that wouldn't be necessary. In my book, fighting blackmailers comes under the heading of charity.
So you will help me?
Of course I will. Where are you going now?
To my office. I'll be there all day.
Fine, Mr. Fennick. I'll see you later.
Good morning, Miss Grimshaw.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Fennick. How's the convention going?
Oh, all right. The usual drinking and rowdyism. I hardly slept at all last night for the noise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's so much to do today. The report for the convention council isn't even started. So, no interruptions and no phone calls. And if Mr. Templar rings up, take his number and say I'll ring back.
Certainly, Mr. Fennick. Vern? Alec.
Alec who?
Mr. Templar.
Well, Norma, Alec who?
Nobody.
The waiter in the rowdy room?
No.
He's your boyfriend, isn't he?
Well, yes, but he didn't have any...
Has a pretty quick temper, too, doesn't he? Hit a man in the rowdy room last night.
Yes, but you don't think he'd anything to do with this, do you?
He threatened Bolton.
He didn't mean it for real.
He threatened to kill him, and it looks as if he has.
Mr. Templar, you're wrong. Believe me.
I don't. Neither will the police.
Please don't call the police.
Why not?
Alec didn't do this. Oh, sure, he's jealous and quick-tempered, but not murder. He couldn't.
You're in this, too, aren't you?
In what?
Oh, come on, Norma, I know. You framed Fennick last night, and Bolton took the picture. It's a sick, filthy business, and now Bolton's dead. You're as emboldened as anybody.
I'm not. I swear I'm not.
You posed for the picture, didn't you?
Yes, but it wasn't blackmail.
What would you call it?
It's for Fennick's wife. She's tired of getting pushed around. She wants a divorce.
And how much were you getting paid?
$300.
And you came to collect?
Yes.
Here, hold this. Hold it tight. Here, come and sit down. I'll get you an ambulance. Ambulance service.
That's the first part.
Triple space?
Please. Have you heard from Mr. Kingman?
Well, not yet.
Well, it's 12:15. Well, he'll be along soon. Send him right in, will you?
Hello?
Brett, is that you?
I know your reputation, Mr. Templer.
I'm flattered.
I think I ought to arrest you for Van Bolton's murder right now.
Lieutenant, I hate to disappoint you, but the autopsy will prove he was dead at least 5 hours.
You hope.
I'm positive.
You just found the body, eh?
That's all.
How come? You were just passing, is that it?
No, I was looking for Bolton.
Why?
Well, let's say I wanted some pictures taken.
Templer, I happen to like you. I'd hate to get real tough with you.
Lieutenant, I give you my word, I had nothing to do with Bolton's death. I just walked in and found him. A minute later, Norma Upton arrived. What she wanted, I've no idea. We were talking, I heard a noise in the corridor, caught a momentary glimpse of a gun, and I pushed her out of the way.
Well, you didn't quite push her out of the way.
I pushed her enough to save her life.
Okay, Templer, you can go now. Don't check out of your hotel.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
One other thing. Don't meddle, understand? Don't get mixed up in anything and don't look for trouble.
Lieutenant, I never look for trouble. This trouble looks for me. Good morning, Miss Grimshaw.
Good morning, Mr. Kingman. Go right in.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Fennick. Sorry I'm late, but the customers took longer than I expected.
Well, I wouldn't want you to neglect any of our customers for me.
Have I held you up?
No, not at all. I've had a most productive morning.
Good. How's the convention report coming?
Splendidly. It's full of the most fascinating ideas.
Mr. Fennick, is there something wrong?
You could say so.
Well, can I help?
Probably. You are a very intelligent young man. That is why I made you the head of the West Coast Division. Tell me, Brent, do you like San Francisco?
Yes, very much.
You sure you're not having too much of a good thing?
Look, Mr. Fennick, if I've done something wrong, say so, but stop fooling around, will you?
All right. Just before you came in here, I telephoned your apartment. And who do you think answered?
Nobody.
My wife.
That's impossible.
Shall we try again?
Mr. Fennick, I'm sorry, but these things do happen. I didn't set out to break up your marriage deliberately. Leanne and I saw quite a bit of each other in New York. We fell in love.
How touching. And I presume this grand passion is mutual.
Yes, we want to get married.
Leanne is already married.
Mr. Fennick, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you if I didn't know it's been all over between you two for a long time. She wants a divorce.
I know. She also wants a settlement of $500,000.
I think I could talk her out of that.
You could?
Yes, but I'd want something else in return.
What?
A 10-year contract with the Fennick Candy Company.
Kingman, let me tell you a few hard facts. You are not only fired, but I shall make it impossible for you to work anywhere else. I'll spread it throughout this convention that you're a fraud, a philanderer, a drunk, a liar. Kingman, you are about to be blitzed.
You'll be sorry.
I doubt that.
Look, Fennick, Leanne's got the goods on you. She's going to divorce you in the state of New York and take you to the cleaners. If you'd have been halfway decent about it, I'd have tried to talk her out of it. But if it's a fight you want, boy, you're going to get it.
You're a hot-headed young man, aren't you, Misner?
Yeah, I guess so.
You took a punch at an old man in the rowdy bar last night.
He was playing Norma.
You hated that.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah, well, naturally. I guess I'd hate it, too. But if you take a punch at a complete stranger, what would you be likely to do to a guy like Bolton, who was getting Norma into something really nasty?
I didn't kill him.
You knew what he was doing, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me.
He got Norma to do things.
Then you threatened to kill him.
I only said it. I didn't mean it for real.
If Vern Bolton comes anywhere near me, I'll murder him. 5 people heard you say that at the rowdy room.
So I said it.
Then you got a gun, you went down to a studio, and you shot him.
Lieutenant, I've never even had a gun in my hand.
You hung around because you knew Norma was coming back in the morning to get her money, and you took a shot at her.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, knock off this act, will you, Misner?
What are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, what's happened to Norma? Is she dead?
You don't think anybody's fooled by that act, do you?
Is she dead?
You want to learn a little self-control.
Is she dead?
She's got a slug in the shoulder.
Where's Norma?
She's in the hospital, but you know that. You shot her.
No,
You were eaten up with jealousy. You hated Bolton. You almost started to hate Norma, too.
I want to see Norma.
That was a mistake.
I want to see Norma.
You're not going anyplace. Take him down, book him for the murder of Vern Bolton.
Brent, I've been waiting for you. You said you would phone.
Give me a drink.
Why? What's the matter?
Everything. I've been fired.
You can't be serious.
Kicked out as from now.
What for?
Because Otis knows, that's why.
About us?
Yes, and also the fact that you're in this apartment.
He couldn't possibly know that.
Did the phone ring between 12 and 12:15?
Yes, but there was nobody on the other end of the line.
That's what you think. It was Otis. He recognized your voice. Honey, I'm going to take that little jerk for the last dime he's got.
How?
Get over at the hotel, quick. He might use the fact that you're in this apartment to bring a counter-divorce action. Now, you get over at the hotel and check in as his wife.
What good will that do?
You give $50 to the desk clerk. He's to swear that you checked in at 10:30 and never left your room, right?
Right.
That's the last lot. I'll edit those you've typed.
Why, you're almost as fast in longhand as I am on the typewriter.
Mr. Fennick, I have some news for you.
Will you come in here, please, Mr. Templar? Have you seen Bolton?
Mr. Bolton's no longer with us.
Oh. Pardon?
He's dead.
Dead? How?
Shot through the chest.
Why, I can't believe it.
You can take my word for it.
Who?
The police are holding a man named Alec Meisner, Norma Upton's boyfriend. He was the waiter that brought the scotch to my room. Remember?
Well, I'm absolutely stunned. Well, this is terrible.
What's so terrible about it? Blackmailers often get shot.
Well, Mr. Templar, the police will find the photograph, won't they?
They haven't yet.
Well, where is it?
I've no idea.
Mr. Templar, I think I have. My wife has it.
But she's in New York.
No, she flew in here a few hours after I arrived here. Apparently, she's staying with my West Coast manager. She made the mistake of answering his phone when I called. I recognized her voice.
You spoke to her?
No, I didn't say anything. I just heard her say hello, and I hung up.
So she doesn't know that you know that she's here?
Well, I presume she does by now, because I fired Kingman. Mr. Templar, you've got to find my wife on that picture.
Don't worry, Mr. Fennick. I will.
Mr. Templar, Alec didn't do it. I know he didn't. I don't care what the police say. I know him.
Norma, why did you get mixed up with Bolton when you knew Alec hated it?
Oh, I was crazy, that's all. I kept trying to change Alec. I wanted him to be smarter and go places. I didn't want him to settle for just being a waiter all his life. I thought if we had some money, we could start a place of our own. Mr. Templar, please help him.
Norma, I can only help him if you tell me the truth.
Anything.
Tell me all about Bolton's racket.
Oh, well, he'd take a compromising photograph of someone and he'd sell them the print, but hold out on the negative and just keep bleeding them.
Where did he keep the negatives?
I don't know, but never at the office.
Have any idea where he hid them?
No, honestly. Well, I was only with him for 6 months, and he never told me anything.
Is there anyone else would know?
Leanne Fennick might.
Leanne Fennick, why?
She used to work with him in this racket before she got married. That's why she went to him when she wanted the same deal pulled in her husband.
I think I better have a talk with Leanne Fennick. Mrs. Fennick?
Yes?
My name is Templar, Simon Templar.
Is it?
I'd like to talk to you.
Why not?
I'm a friend of your husband's.
We all have bad luck.
I thought, actually, you were in New York.
Well, so did Otis, but these new jets are so sudden. They gave me a key at the desk when I proved I was Mrs. Fennick.
And you gave the clerk $50.
Pardon?
To swear you registered at 10 a.m.
How did you know that?
I gave him $100.
Why?
Mrs. Fennick, I couldn't care less whether you're married to your husband, Brett Kingman, or the chief of the Chippewa tribe. What I don't like is blackmail.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the fake picture of your husband cavorting with a campfire girl.
How did you know that?
Vern Bolton.
My, you do get around, don't you?
I also know you used to work for him.
Well, that was a long time ago.
But you remembered him, didn't you? And you went to him to fix a nasty little frame up on your husband.
Mr. Templar, I've had 10 years of Otis Fennick. Maybe I'm no prize, but at least I'm alive and he isn't. I have this picture, and I'm going through with this no matter what happens.
You heard the word collusion?
Nobody can prove that.
Except Vern Bolton.
Bolton will keep quiet.
Yes, you made sure of that, didn't you?
Made sure of it.
By killing him.
Killing him?
You can read about it in the afternoon papers.
But you know now.
I found the body.
Oh, you're lying. It's some sort of a trick.
Now, why don't we stop clowning around, Mrs. Fennick? Bolton was double-crossing you, and you went to the studio last night and shot him.
Mr. Templar, I know your reputation, but don't start acting the district attorney with me. I had nothing to do with Vern Bolton's death. But believe me, it couldn't happen to a more deserving guy.
If you didn't kill him, who did?
I haven't any idea.
Who else would be interested in the photograph?
I don't know.
With your association in the past with Bolton, you'd know where he kept the negatives.
I've told you I don't know.
I thought you might have had the answer.
Well, I haven't.
Looks as though I've been wasting my time, doesn't it?
And mine.
Mrs. Fennick, a word of advice. Don't play around too much. You're liable to get hurt.
Your concern touches me, Mr. Templar. Goodbye.
We'll meet again.
I doubt that. Bayside 34782, please. Brent, it's me. Listen, I know where the negative is. Look, I can't talk on the phone now. Can you meet me in the rowdy room in 20 minutes?
But, honey, it's after 3 o'clock. What if Otis comes back?
We'll just have to risk it. Oh, please, Brent, don't argue with me. Just come here quickly. All right. Goodbye.
Yes, Mr. Fennick?
Oh, Miss Grimshaw, that's the last lot for typing.
Yes, sir.
I think I shall get through all right, but no interruptions and no phone calls.
Don't worry, Mr. Fennick. Nobody will get past me.
Thank you, Miss Grimshaw. Oh, give me the reception desk, please. Reception? This is Mr. Fennick, 607. Are there any messages for me?
No, sir. No messages, Mr. Fennick. Oh, except your wife checked in at 10:30.
Yes. I was expecting her.
take that.
Who are you?
I said I'd take the key. Would you tell Miss Fennick I'd like to see him, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Templar. He's not to be disturbed.
Well, this is urgent.
His instructions were no telephone calls and no interruptions.
Well, they were they?
Yes, they were. He's working on a very important report.
Well, thank you very much. Room 607, please.
Hello.
Oh, Mrs. Fennick, this is Simon Templar. Don't ask any questions, there isn't time. You're in great danger. I want you to go down to the rowdy room and wait for me there.
Mr. Templar.
Hello, Leanne.
Well, for once in your life, you've arrived at an opportune moment.
Have I, my dear?
Simon Templar just phoned. He said that I was in danger.
Danger? Of what?
He told me to get out of this room.
I wonder why.
I have no idea.
I suppose it's because I killed Fern Bolton. It's true. I did.
Otis. You're drunk.
No, my dear, I'm quite sober. But you made me very angry, Leon. I don't mind fighting, fair. But what you did was so degrading. You're a bad woman.
Otis, you're wrong.
Cruel, ruthless, cheap.
No.
You hired Bolton and that girl.
I didn't.
They tricked their way into my room. They said they had a telegram. The girl dropped her coat and flung her arms round my neck, and Bolton took the picture. It happened so fast
Otis,
that
I swear I had nothing to do with it.
You made me look ridiculous. And for that, I will never forgive you. You know, I had the most wonderful feeling when I shot Bolton. Sometimes at night, I put myself to sleep, imagining myself in dramatic situations, leading an army or being head of the FBI. And when the dream became reality, and I actually shot Bolton, it felt good.
Otis, couldn't we go downstairs and talk this over?
You're frightened, Leanne, aren't you?
No.
Oh, I'm glad, because all I've ever wanted of life was for people to like me. But you've been so unreasonable, Leanne. If you'd have accepted a fair settlement, I'd have given you your divorce. But as it is now...
What will this solve, Otis?
Nothing.
Then why do it?
Because like so many people in this world, my life has no purpose. I'm crippled inside, Leanne. I'm dead. And you killed me.
I could change, Otis.
Oh, dear, you couldn't.
We could go away someplace and start all over.
It's too late.
Help me! Help! Oh, no, Otis, don't.
You're not fit to live, my dear.
Otis.
And no one will ever know. Miss Grimshaw. Miss Grimshaw is absolutely positive that I'm in my private office. I'm working on a report. I can be back there in 5.5 minutes. I've worked it out very carefully.
Are you all right?
Yes. Oh, he's crazy. He's absolutely crazy.
That'll be for the police to decide. They're on their way. But Mrs. Fenwick, I don't think he's the only one who's crazy. You can't put all the blame on your ever-loving spouse.